So let's go back in history again. 5th century, and I guess it would be the 5th into the 4th century BC. Leucippus and Democritus. Anybody heard of those guys? Have you heard of Aristotle and Plato? So these guys didn't become famous, or at least not as famous. But they were the first individuals to propose that matter was made out of atoms, of smallest particles. And they gave them the name atomos. Democritus wrote, "Nothing exists except atoms and empty space, and everything else is opinion." They proposed that there were different kinds of atoms, different shapes and sizes, and that they moved randomly through empty space. So, some of their ideas were a little off, but they had the right idea. Now, Plato and Aristotle were contemporaries of them, and they didn't believe this. They said, no, there's no smallest parts. Everything is made up of fire, air, earth, and water, various combinations of that, and matter is infinitely divisible. So they were more popular and influential. There was no way to test these ideas, and so Aristotle's view prevailed, and science was set back 2,000 years. Later, we established a scientific approach to studying the physical world. So Aristotle, Democritus, those guys were philosophers. They sat around and thought about things, which is good. You need to think about things, but you can't really prove that your thoughts are correct without experiments. So we'll be talking about the scientific method. So an English chemist, John Dalton, he's going to come up several times. He was the first one who gave convincing evidence to support those ideas that matter is composed of atoms. But still, he didn't have really conclusive evidence until 1905 when Einstein explained the Brownian motion in terms of atoms and particles.